Hello everyone, so this is level 1 of Populous Beginning, now done at 39 seconds for new world record. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to play the video here, and then afterwards I'll give you an explanation as to what I've done, because it does need a bit of a breakdown in order to see what's happening, so I'll just go ahead and do that. Okay, so the first thing I want to explain is how I was able to get the spell to load instantly in the panel, and that takes a bit of understanding about how the animation is cancelling on screen. So first, just to demonstrate, when we kill an enemy shaman or we get a spell or a building from stone head, a totem, whatever it is, I'll play this animation on screen and then the icon will zoom into the panel here. So I'm just going to demonstrate this real quick by just letting my shaman die here. I'll play this animation like this, these particles, and then it'll zoom in like that. So everyone knows that, but what is probably not quite as well known is that you can cancel this by pressing spacebar. So just let her do it again, and I'm just going to press spacebar just to show. There you go, and it was pretty much over instantly there. Now, one thing you might have noticed in the run is when you normally pray a stone head like this and you try to interrupt the animation that pops up, I'm interrupting it here, it takes an eternity for it to actually show up in the panel, which is not good for speedrunning at all. Try it again. And what I mean, it's just taking forever. But what I've discovered is there's a way to almost interrupt the animation and get it to load instantly, which is what you see in the run itself. So this is how it works. You need to get, when he stops moving, you need to get this actual icon this amount of distance from the panel, and then you press spacebar the moment the animation starts. So that's how it works. Do it one more time. It's got to be the instant it starts rotating, like that. Now, if you do this incorrectly, it's not going to work. I'll show you instances of where it won't work now. Just getting rid of my languages here. So, this icon, if it's too far away from the panel, even if you press spacebar at the right time, it's just not going to do it. So, I'll just show you here. You know, it's still taking forever. It actually needs to be physically close like this. And then it works. Now, I know that might seem weird, but to demonstrate what I mean, I'll get him to pray one more time and I'll just move it off screen entirely, right? I'll show you what happens in that case. So, take a moment. And it's popped from the corner there. Now, that kind of tells me that the animation has something to do with it being in the real world compared to the panel, if that makes sense. So there's a relationship there. If it's off screen, it comes from the corner. If it's not, it actually pops up from wherever it was and then comes. So I managed to discover this when I was doing the speedrun, and then I accidentally pressed spacebar and then it just showed up instantly, and I was just thinking that can't be possible unless there's some kind of condition that makes it possible. So because I have a programming background, I thought maybe it has something to do with the sprite animation being cancelled at a certain time, and I was kind of right. So, and then I kind of realised, depending on where the icon comes from, if it comes from the corner or if it comes from actual in the world, that has an influence on where the sprite ends up, and then you can sort of cancel it at the right time, if that makes sense. So, that's where I kind of figured it out from a bit of experimentation. So, Okay, the next thing I want to quickly explain is, you might have noticed in the speedrun that my shaman almost moves on her own with no explanation, seemingly, but it's actually down to a trick that's been with Populous since the start, the end trick. So when you get the shaman to patrol for 2 points there, you can still, without deselecting the shaman, you can hold on to control for another point and click it. She won't actually move there because it's not a guard point, but she will move when you press N, like that. So that was just a micro optimization I did to get her to move to the island instantly when Landbridge was ready over here, so that's why she seems to move on her own at that point. Now I just want to give a bit of background on the lightning that I cast as well. When you hover your cursor over a hut like this, it does highlight, but there are situations in which if you hover it over here it doesn't highlight at all. Now I'm just going to cast 2 at a time here, and one after the other. So the lightning kind of centers when you click it directly like that, but if you click like that it kind of behaves differently. It kind of zooms up into the sky and kind of zooms in on exactly where you clicked there. So it's just part of the engine and how it works. So with that knowledge in mind, I was wondering, is there some kind of way that I can utilise the lightning's ability to have a knockback on followers and get the hut to light on fire? And there's a specific spot where it's not highlighting, but that spot counts as actually hitting the hut. So the lightning's knockback effect will still kick in, and that's how it works, like that. So that's just something that I kind of discovered when I was desperately trying to find a way to cram that lightning's ability to get the shaman in the hut at the same time, and I managed to find it. So that's just what you see there. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to play the run and film one more time. I'm just going to try and narrate as much as possible. It is loaded with micro optimization, so I'll try to keep it down to a minimum, but I'll try to point out the important stuff here. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm hitting spacebar repeatedly just to cancel the flyby before the story icon shows up, and then I just hit enter to get rid of that. Now I'm just clicking the Braves and Shaman to move forwards. I'm getting them to move forward first and then correcting their exact position afterwards. What's important is they keep on moving forward to their right position at the right time. And there's the animation cancel, and I'm not waiting to check to see if it actually goes through or not. I'm just selecting the spell instantly. I'm just assuming it works, that way I'm not waiting around. And then here I get very lucky with this warrior, as you can see where he goes, because this blast just knocks him down at just the right pace in there. So yeah, I think that's just about everything there. So hope you enjoyed, I hope it was useful, and that's 39 seconds for the world record.